Ever since I was 5, I've dreamt of being in the Olympics, and with having been given multiple opportunities to participate in international championships, I've now come to the realization that a small boy living in Bangalore has the opportunity and has the ability to participate in the Olympics if his dreams are given the wings they need to fly. And I think that's what Inventure has done for me. It's given me the opportunity and the ability to pursue my passion, and hopefully by 2020 I'll be there at the Olympic podium.
I want to pursue mechanical engineering in college. I'm an aspiring entrepreneur, and through my work as an entrepreneur, I want to create a positive change in society and impact communities all around the world.
I want to pursue psychology in college, and at some point I think I want to come back to India and, develop the field of psychology here.
I'm interested in pursuing biomedical engineering in college, and I'm also considering double majoring in public policy. Outside of academics, I'm interested in music and Model United Nations and debate.
One problem I've always wanted to solve is poverty, right? And I aspire to do that by being an entrepreneur. I don't know what sort of entrepreneur as yet, but I'm looking at being an entrepreneur in terms of either sports or like an alternative energy kind of concept, because that's what I've always loved.
Looking to pursue international relations in college to work with malnourished children in Yemen. But aside from that, I'm really excited to move to London, and I really hope to tour the whole of Europe after this.
I want to major in math and also along the way learn how to write and maybe study religion.
I want to pursue computer science in college with a minor maybe in statistics, and I somehow want to impact the world of football.
So I always used to be that weird kid who would just sit with huge encyclopedia about like stars and planets, and I was really fascinated by the concept of a black hole. In fact, I actually saw this documentary called Unfolding Universe, where Neil deGrasse Tyson actually describes the black hole as a dragon sitting there, right, waiting to gobble up anything in its vicinity. And I was hooked. I was an 8-year-old who was really excited about space. So then I realized that I actually had an aptitude for math, right? And I said, okay, why not take this seriously? If you can actually do this, then that would be a very interesting way to lead your life. So I vacillated a bit, of course, because a lot of people said astrophysics shouldn't be your aim, you're not going to make money. But I mean, I think if you do what you, as cliched as this sounds, if you do what you love, then it'll come.
As you speak to these kids, they really are honest. You know, they tell you what is in their heart, and they tell you what they say with conviction and with a great deal of confidence, maturity, equanimity, and they're prepared to face the world. I don't think when I was a 17-year-old kid, I had that kind of maturity when I graduated from school.
I've spent a lot of my time in Inventure. I've been here since third, and I can say pretty reasonably that my learning experience for most of my life has been in Inventure, and Inventure has allowed me to grow as a person by providing freedom and flexibility and accepting me as the individual I am and giving me room to grow.
So what I've learned over the past few years is that you need to seize every opportunity given to you at school. And at first you might say, oh, I do not want to play football, oh, I do not want to go outside for this outbound trip, for example. But you will soon realize that, these experiences will not only help you as a person, but it will help you get into colleges, it will help you, sort of build skills that will help you in the future. It's not about just getting into colleges now, it's about building skills so that you can do something within the future, right? So over the last few years, I've learned to seize opportunities and do best with what you have with them.
It's also a little bit intimidating because of moving out of such a comfortable environment that we've been a part of for so long. And as much as it is exciting, it's scary.
I don't want children to go out of Inventure Academy as stressed out young people who are wondering what they're going to do. Oh, I can only succeed if I go to an Ivy League college. Or, oh, maybe I should have done the IB. Because that prepares me better to go to college. I think we can see from this bunch of graduates that the ASA levels are it's an amazing curriculum to go to college. One doesn't need to do shall I call it a 5-star education. By 5-star, I'm meaning paying 2, 3, 4 times as much as what a student would pay here. It's what they carry them inside and here that matters. And I don't think any curriculum can give you that. It has to do with the school, it has to do with the ethos, it has to do with the teachers.
I potentially see myself as someone who's more than just an astrophysicist, because for me, there are a lot of allied skills that I feel astrophysics is very useful for. For example, I'm really passionate about the fact that people have this huge misconception that STEM fields have to be something that's inaccessible, and only if you're a certain kind of person can you do STEM. So I want to fight that stereotype. So I want to get into maybe education and creating awareness about things like that. And another thing that I'm really interested in is how I can make astrophysics and these tough subjects accessible to people across socioeconomic barriers, right? For example, I actually went to a school and I did an internship for a year, and I managed to teach them about the atom in Kannada. And I'm not very good at Kannada, just saying. So that made me realize that I could break down a very difficult concept, and you didn't have to be a genius to understand that.
I went to international schools all my life. In fact, I could be called what is famously known as a third culture kid. And really not having a reference point anywhere in the world except for my school. And so for me as well, I relate to my high school very closely. And I see that in these kids, in this bunch of kids, some of them who have been here for 10 years and so forth. For them, this is their reference point in life. And I'm not surprised that they want to come back and contribute in some ways. And I think it would do Inventure Academy extremely proud if some of them came back to even teach here.
I was deciding to do a gap year and do a couple of internships before I went to college. But then I realized I wouldn't be very productive in that year. So I decided, I need to start doing all these tests and writing, preparing and looking into colleges. So there's a lot of rush things. I was multitasking a lot. I was doing the standardized tests, keeping my grades up, and doing extracurricular work, etc. So I learned a lot about multitasking, and I learned about how to juggle things and still get your way. And it was a lot of work, but it was an incredible learning experience. It's probably prepared me to face the real world, because the real world is like that. No one knows what's going to happen next. It's a lot of stuff isn't in your control. And it's kind of helped me handle the unpredictable and be comfortable with the unknown and with the future.
I'm actually going to study at the London School of Economics because they have a very strong international relations program. And I'm going to focus on human rights, terrorism, and world health.
I'm hoping to major in biomedical engineering in college, as well as a double major, maybe in human rights or public policy.
The Yemen conflict was particular interest for me because it combines my love for economics. Because Yemen is a country which has 90% of its food imported, so it has a very high dependency ratio. So given the current terrorist problem, food supplies from other countries are stopped, and there is severe malnourishment and a high mortality rate currently in Yemen. And I'd like to help that issue using the things I've learned from economics, business studies, biology, combining all the different fields to kind of help and alleviate the situation.
I think in essence, I'm someone who loves balance. So whether it's, and that's something I've noticed in everything I do, whether it's balance of academia and extracurriculars, or balance in my outlook on life, or balance even in terms of the subjects I'm interested in, right? Humanities and science. So I think balance is that one word that defines everything.
Living in a place like India, going to Inventure Academy, I think it's opened our eyes to the contrast of the world around us. To see on the way to school, government schools that barely have facilities for kids to go and have an everyday school experience, whether there are bathrooms or blackboards or even food. I think it strikes a chord in all of us and makes us want to go out there, go to college, and be able to come back here and make a difference. We've all had to do our community a service throughout the year. It's compulsory. But if we wanted to, we could have bunked every Thursday and not showed up, and it would have been okay. There's no rules saying you have to show up and go for community service. But I think you'll find that every single one of my classmates came to school, did the hours, not because it was a requirement for college and it made their college applications look better, but just because we've grown into human beings that care.
This is an exceptional class. The class of 2016 is exemplary. It's been our largest class. It's been our class also with amazing college placements, amazing academic results, and really amazing individual personalities who we feel will go out and make a difference in the world. And we feel great that we were part of their journey.